Hello, everybody. This is Roger again from Tree Life 1584 Tree, coming to you from Jacksonville, Florida. Just found out that they're going to change the ordering process or the delivery and I guess the process of instead of making the Cybertruck two-wheel drive first, since there was so many orders for the dual motor and the tri-motor Cybertruck. Tesla is going to start making the tri-motor and the dual motor first, and then later on, I guess after they catch up, start making the single motor rear-wheel drive last. So I guess 42% or right around 42, 41% of all the orders, 41% was dual motor and 41 or 2% was tri-motor. So there's very little orders for the single motor rear wheel drive. So my question is, I ordered the dual motor. I switched it from single to dual motor, and because one of the reasons was because the range, and also two, the increase in towing ability. It can tow over 10,000 pounds. But another thing is the tri-motor can has the extended range, and it can pull over 14,000 pounds. So are they going to build the dual motor first or the tri-motor first, or are they going to build them simultaneously? And if you do, say if I have the dual motor and I change it to the tri-motor, does that mean that I'll keep the same place in line? I'll get the truck about the same time, or is that going to delay, or is that going to lessen the time frame depending on which one they build first, or if they build them at the same time? So if anybody else has this question or has the answer, or someone has the ability to get the answer from Tesla or Elon, I tweeted him, but like there's only so many people he can answer. So hopefully someone will answer that same question, or somebody that gets responses will answer that question. Also, too, what I was interested in is we never heard anything about the ability for the Cybertruck to be submerged, because I know there was a few times where in Florida we got flooded, and I still had to work, and I have an F-250 four-wheel drive, and it's the crew cab, and I have pretty good ground clearance, but my shop was in the industrial loop, and there was an area that I had to go through that was a few feet deep, and I almost lost my truck. So I'm not currently at that shop anymore, so hopefully I won't have that issue if we ever flood out again. But it would be nice to know if that happens again and I'm driving the Cybertruck, which I know you can increase with the airbags, you can go up to a 16-inch clearance. But if that isn't enough, how deep can that truck be submerged? Because I've seen a few YouTube videos where I think it was the Model S was ruined because it sat in water, and I think it was salt water, but still, I know if any battery is submerged in water, that eventually that'll, if it's not airtight or watertight, it could cause damage. Also, too, there was the motors were also damaged. They were submerged. When they took the motors apart, they were full of water. So I'm just wondering if anybody knows if there's any changes uh, when they build the Cybertruck, if the motors are going to be sealed better or more watertight. Can you submerge this truck? Also, too, will it float? I mean, if it's all stainless steel and it's watertight, if you get above a certain uh, level, will it continue to sink, or would it be possible with the bigger tires that there might be a little bit of flotation? So I know the truck's heavy, but I'm sure they've done studies. They just didn't release any. Is the truck going to float, or is it going to be submerged? And if it is, can it be submerged? How deep can you go? Can you submerge the batteries? Can you go up, as high as the tailgate? Can you go up? Are the doors sealed? Um, Another thing would be, since it is a truck, I kind of like to, rinse my truck out or blow it out. Would it be possible? Is there a drain hole so you can? Is there carpeting in the truck, or is it? Which would be nice if they just had drain plugs where you could basically rinse the truck out and pull the mats out and just basically vacuum it and rinse it out and let the water drain through the floor. Ideally, what's the floor made out of? Is it just stainless? Are there mats in there, or is there carpet in there? Is there an option not to have carpet? Because the ideal situation would be either like a rhino liner or stainless steel, where the mats would pull out. You could get some custom mats that would hold water or dirt. You could shake them out, and then the residual you could either vacuum or maybe rinse out and have a drain plug. And hopefully that drain plug would be in an area where it wouldn't affect the electronics or the battery. You wouldn't have any dirt pockets or areas where that dirt would settle. It could, maybe get rinsed out easily. So these are some of the questions that I had. I tweeted also too. This truck, if it's airtight, if it's watertight, if you can submerge it up to a point. Only other improvements would be if they're coming out with the, I guess like an airless tire that basically has no air in it. It's almost like I don't know if you've seen them on like tractors, like John Deere has them. They're just plastic, kind of like a plastic or polyurethane spoked rim. They still absorb shock. I'm sure that's probably not a perfect ride, but they do. They came out. I think I don't know if it was Pirelli or Goodyear. They came out with a tire that is almost identical as far as it has just as much give as an air tire, but it's has the same outer edge, but it lasts longer. Basically, you can shoot it. You can knock chunks out of the tire. Has no air in it, and still keep rolling. I think this would be a perfect match for the Cybertruck, especially for the police force or military. There wouldn't be any chance of getting the tire shot out, and basically the tire would roll and propel the vehicle, even if there was chunks missing or bullet holes or shotgun or it's impervious. I mean, it would basically drive no matter what until the tire was completely torn off the rim, or maybe like an explosion could blow the entire tire apart. But other than that, the truck would still move forward. Plus, if it's all-wheel drive, you could still drag that tire behind you. Even if it was destroyed, you could still maneuver it without that one tire. So these are just some of the things I thought about to improve the truck. Also, too, if anybody has any ideas about this truck being a power plant, they said it has 220. So I'm thinking if you could buy an adapter. It would just be like the same thing. You go to Home Depot, say you have a power outage, and you could plug your plug your truck in, just like the Powerwall. It's like what, 11 or 12, 11.5 kilowatts. These trucks are going to be at least 100 kilowatts. 11.5 kilowatt can run a house for 8 hours, possibly longer, depending on what necessities you have. So if you had a 100 kilowatt Cybertruck, it would be like having almost like 10 power walls. So you could literally run your whole house for 80 hours. And if you just ran the bare necessities, you could run it longer than that. So, and also with the conjunction of solar panels, say you don't have power walls, but you have solar, if there's a power outage, you could actually run your house off your truck at night, and run your house and charge your vehicle during the day, and then use your truck as a power wall. And if it has a 220 plug, it seems like you could just get the regular plug that you normally plug in a generator. The same thing you buy at like Home Depot or Lowe's. Take that same adapter, turn off the grid power, and plug in the 220 to the same thing you would plug in your generator to, and run your necessities. You might not be able to run like your air conditioner or heating, but you could run all your lights, all your refrigerators, all your freezers, everything that would sustain your food, and still have so all your food wouldn't go bad. You could basically run everything in your house, except for your heating and air conditioning, which you might be able to do that, but it would take so much power, and you might have to turn other things off. So if anybody has any ideas about that, that would be awesome. And also too, if you don't have enough money to buy a power wall and a truck, you could just buy the truck, and until you save enough money, get the power wall later. So just food for thought. If anybody has any ideas or the possibility that might work, or if they already designed it to do so, I would love to know. But thank you very much, and hopefully we'll have these answers soon. This is Roger again from Tree Life One.